Hello students, today I will be teaching about conjunctivitis, which is a very common disease condition of the eye. So this topic is basically for BSc third year, and let's go to the definition of conjunctivitis. So conjunctivitis is also known as pink eye. Okay, it is the inflammation of the outermost layer of the white part of the eye and the inner surface of the eyelid. So, conjunctivitis is inflammation of the outermost layer of the white part of the eye, okay, and the inner surface of the eyelid. So, this is known as conjunctivitis. Next, before we go into the disease condition, first I will teach you about the types of conjunctiva. Okay, so conjunctiva is a thin, translucent, elastic tissue layer with bulbar and palpebral portion. So there are two portions. One is known as the bulbar, and one is known as the palpebral. So these two are portions of the conjunctiva. So what is a conjunctiva? It is a thin, translucent, elastic tissue layer. So this is nothing but a tissue layer which is very elastic, and it is thin and translucent. Okay, and so let's see what is bulbar conjunctiva. Like I said, bulbar conjunctiva, it lines the outer surface of the globe. That is, it lines the outer surface of the junction of sclera and cornea. Okay, so as you can see here, the white portion is the sclera, right? So it lines just outside the sclera and the cornea. Okay, and palpebral, it covers the inside of the eyelid. So here, as you can see, upper portion, okay, you can see this is the pink color. Okay, the pink color, it lines or it covers the inside of the eyelids. So this is palpebral conjunctiva. So and there are two layers which is known as epithelium and substantia propria. So if there's any inflammation in the bulbar conjunctiva, okay, or if there's any inflammation in the palpebral conjunctiva, then we will call it as inflammation. Then we will call it as conjunctivitis. Okay, I hope this is clear. Now coming to the types of conjunctivitis. So there are many types of conjunctivitis. One is allergic conjunctivitis. Number two is viral conjunctivitis, and third is bacterial conjunctivitis. Okay, so in allergic conjunctivitis, okay, as you can see here also, this is another picture. Okay, in allergic conjunctivitis, patient will have itching, redness, swelling or edema, okay, and there will be lacrimation. Okay, so there will be tears from the lacrimal glands. So that is called allergic conjunctivitis. Now viral conjunctivitis. In viral conjunctivitis, patient will have redness of the eyes, itching, and there will be increased in lacrimation. Okay, as you can see here. So this is viral conjunctivitis. Whereas bacterial conjunctivitis, patient will have redness, okay, edema or swelling. Then patient will have pus collection or mucopurulent discharge. Okay, so as you can see here, these the yellow discharges here. Okay, so that is mucopurulent discharge. Okay, and there will be dryness of the eyes and there will be redness also. So these are some of the types of conjunctivitis. Okay, so let's go deep into the viral conjunctivitis. First, it is the most common viral cause is adenovirus. Okay, so adenovirus is the main cause for viral conjunctivitis. It occurs in community epidemics such as school, workplace, physician's office. So this viral conjunctivitis, it occurs mostly in school children, okay, in the schools or in workplace, offices, or in clinics or any hospital. Next, the usual mode of transmission is contaminated fingers, medical instruments, or swimming pool water. So these are the modes of transmission for viral conjunctivitis. Next, presentation. Okay, so the signs and symptoms, like I said, the viral conjunctivitis, the signs and symptoms are unilateral or bilateral, meaning that one eye is affected or both the eyes are affected. Okay, there will be redness of the eyes, watery or mucoserous discharge. Okay, mucoserous discharge, chemosis, that is tender preocular nodes will be present, or there will be burning sensation, sanding, gritty feeling in the eyes, meaning that there will be discomfort in the eyes, and patient will have rarely photophobia. Okay, the sensitivity to light will be very rare. Maybe a part of viral prodrome, that is adenopathy. Okay, patient will also have fever, laryngitis, cough, and rhinorrhea. So these are some of the signs and symptoms of viral conjunctivitis. Now coming to acute bacterial conjunctivitis. So the main cause for bacterial conjunctivitis are Chlamydia trachomatis, Neisseria gonorrhea. Okay, this is commonly in neonates. In children, it is H. influenza about 80% and Streptococcus pneumoniae 20% and Moraxella catarrhalis. Okay, so these are some of the bacteria which causes acute bacterial conjunctivitis in children. In adults, the main cause is Staphylococcus aureus. Okay, so these are some of the etiology or causes for acute bacterial conjunctivitis. Now coming to the signs and symptoms. First, it is unilateral or bilateral, meaning one eye is affected or the other, or both eyes are affected. Patient will have redness of the eyes, mucopurulent discharge continuously throughout the day. So the discharge will be mucopurulent. It will be a combination of mucus and it will be purulent. Then there will be burning sensation. Okay, burning sensation in the eyes. There will be irritation and there will be mild chemosis. Next, in neonates, the symptoms will appear 5 to 14 days after birth. Okay. So the symptoms in acute bacterial conjunctivitis in neonates, it will appear after 5 to 14 days. Next, it is highly contagious. It is spread by direct contact or by contaminated objects. So this is about acute bacterial conjunctivitis. I hope this is clear. Next, we will see the other parts of the other stage of bacterial conjunctivitis. Next is hyperacute bacterial conjunctivitis. Okay, so the main cause here is Neisseria species. Most commonly is Neisseria gonorrhea, which is very common. And the signs and symptoms are profuse purulent discharge with rapidly progressive symptoms. Okay, irritation. Patient will have tenderness to palpation. When we palpate, patient will have tender feeling. Then chemosis. The eyelids will be swelled. Okay, there will be swelling in the eyelids and tender preocular adenopathy. Next, the ophthalmia neonatorum, meaning that in the neonates, okay, the signs and symptoms, the gonococcal ocular infection with bilateral discharge will occur 3 to 5 days after birth. Okay, so it is totally different from acute bacterial conjunctivitis. In acute bacterial conjunctivitis, the symptoms will appear in neonates 5 to 14 days after birth. But in hyperacute bacterial conjunctivitis, the signs and symptoms will appear in neonates 3 to 5 days after birth. So it is a very fast response, and it will occur from vaginal transmission. Next, sexually active teens transmitted from genitalia to the hands. So in teens who are sexually active also, so this bacteria can transfer from the genitals to the hands, and then from the hands to the eyes. Okay, and it is commonly see concurrent urethritis. Okay, if there is any inflammation in the urethra also, from there it can transmit to the eyes, and it is flight threatening. So this is hyperacute bacterial conjunctivitis. Next, chronic bacterial conjunctivitis, meaning for a longer period of time. It is the most common cause is Staphylococcus species. It is more common in adults and patients with acne rosacea or facial seborrhea. So it occurs most in patients with acne. Okay, patients having acne or patients having seborrhea on their faces. Okay, or rashes on their faces. Next, the signs and symptoms are redness, itching, burning sensation, Then patients will also feel a sensation of something in the eyes, that is foreign body sensation. Okay, then flaky debris, there will be flakes. Okay, crust formation of flakes will be coming out. Then blepharitis and eyelash loss. Okay, then next is concurrently it sees size and chalazion of the lid margin from chronic inflammation of the meibomian gland. And also patient will also have because of the sty and the chalazion from the in the eyelids of the eyes. Therefore, uh, these also will occur if there's chronic inflammation of the meibomian gland. Okay, so this is about chronic bacterial conjunctivitis. Next, coming to allergic conjunctivitis, which is the most common type of conjunctivitis. It is most commonly seasonal allergic rhinoconjunctivitis, which is also called hay fever rhinoconjunctivitis. Okay, so this in allergic conjunctivitis, the IgE-mediated hypersensitivity reaction is precipitated by small airborne allergens. Okay, so because of these allergens, because for example like pollen grains, okay, so because of this, the IgE-mediated hypersensitivity reaction will take place, and this will lead to local mast cell degranulation. Therefore, because of the mast cell degranulation, there will be the chemical mediators will release. Okay, these chemical mediators are very important for inflammation. Okay, so they play a major role in inflammation. So the chemical mediators like histamine or eosinophil, chemostatic factors or PAF, etc. So these some are some of the chemical mediators which will help in the process of inflammation. So therefore that will lead to inflammation of the conjunctivitis. Next, the signs and symptoms of allergic conjunctivitis: bilateral, okay, both the eyes are affected; pruritus, meaning itching will be present; redness of the eyes; watery discharge, okay, and rhinorrhea or congestion. Rhinorrhea meaning any congestion in the nasal cavity, or if there's any watery discharge coming from the nose also. Patients often have history of atopy or seasonal allergies or specific allergies. So patients who have allergic conjunctivitis, okay, yes, specifically those patients who have allergies in their bodies or maybe allergic to some specific allergens or foreign particles, okay, or any allergies which occurs during season. So these patients are at a high risk for having allergic conjunctivitis. So let's see the differentiation between bacterial, viral, and allergic conjunctivitis. Okay. So starting with discharge. Okay. So the discharge coming out from the eye in each of these types of conjunctivitis. For example, bacteria. If in bacterial conjunctivitis, the discharge will be mucopurulent discharge. Okay. Next, in viral, the discharge is clear watery discharge. Okay. And in allergic, it is very rare. Okay. So it is COVID toning hemolymph, meaning that there will be very less of discharge from the eye. Next, redness. In bacterial conjunctivitis, there will be redness. In viral conjunctivitis, there will be redness, and in allergic conjunctivitis also there will be redness. Pruritus, that is itching. So in bacterial conjunctivitis, pruritus is very less, it is very rare. Viral and allergic will be present. So these are the differentiation between the allergic, bacterial and viral conjunctivitis. Now coming to the assessment and diagnostic findings. So the four main clinical features which are very important to evaluate are as follows. Number one, the type of discharge. What type of discharge is it? Is it watery or is it mucoid or purulent or mucopurulent? Okay, or it is clear watery. So we have to see, depending upon that, we can distinguish which type of conjunctivitis the patient is having. Number two, the type of conjunctival reaction, that is follicular or papillary, the presence of pseudomembrane or true membrane. So So depending upon the symptoms also we will be able to differentiate. And the presence or absence of lymphadenopathy, that is involvement or enlargement of the lymph nodes where the iris drains. Okay, so if the preocular, auricular and the submandibular lymph nodes are also enlarged or also swelling, then that is called lymphadenopathy. Okay, so we have to see if any presence, lymphadenopathy is present or absent. Then we have to see the type of conjunctival reaction. Okay, and we also have to see the type of discharge. Okay. Then conjunctival epithelium in numerous projections that are usually seen as a fine mosaic pattern under slit lamp examination. So this test, slit lamp examination, okay, under this examination test, the conjunctival epithelium will be seen in numerous projections. Okay, so with that, the ophthalmologist will confirm whether it is a conjunctivitis or not. Diagnosis is based on the distinctive characteristics of ocular signs, acute or chronic presentations, and identification of any precipitating event. So, like I said, the diagnosis will be confirmed whether based on the signs and symptoms. Okay, different types of conjunctivitis will have different signs and symptoms. So, based on that, you will be able to detect the types. Next, positive results of swab smear preparations and cultures will confirm this diagnosis. So, swab test and culture test will be performed. Okay, so if they come out to be positive, then the diagnosis of conjunctivitis is confirmed. Next, medical management. So, medical management treatment depends on the type of conjunctivitis. Okay, whether it is viral or it is bacterial or it is allergic. So viral is self-limiting. Okay, so for viral conjunctivitis, not many treatments can be given to the patient. Okay, cold compression can be given to the patient. Okay, if they are having any redness or pain. Then bacterial is treated with antibiotics. Okay, quinolone in the form of eye drops or ointments or pills. So in case of bacterial conjunctivitis, then we can give antibiotic eye drops or in the form of ointment or in the form of cream or pills. Next, or tablets. Next, we have to advise the patient to wear spectacles to reduce the light sensitivity. Next, you have to discard the old pair of contact lenses and use new ones when conjunctivitis is caused. So during conjunctivitis, we will have to educate the patient not to wear any contact lenses. Next, allergic conjunctivitis are treated with corticosteroids. Okay, depending upon the severity, and they can be given in oral form, that is in tablet form. Okay, so this is also another treatment. Okay, it is based on the types of conjunctivitis. The treatment can be given. So, like I said, first acute bacterial conjunctivitis. Okay, the causes is S. Staphylococcus aureus, H. influenza, S. pneumonia, and M. ceteralis. Okay, the treatment is ciprofloxacin ointment 3 times a day for 7 days, ciprofloxacin solution, eye drops, 1 to 2 drops 4 times a day for 7 days, ofloxacin 1 to 2 drops 4 times a day, 7 days, erythromycin ointment 4 times a day for 7 days, okay, trimethoprim or polymyxin B 1 to 2 drops 4 times a day for 7 days, sulfacetamide ointment UID 4 times a day, okay, at bedtime, okay, bedtime for 7 days. Then sulfacetamide solution 1 to 2 drops every 2 to 3 hours for 7 days. So these are some of the treatment for acute bacterial conjunctivitis. Next, coming to hyperacute bacterial conjunctivitis. Etiology: N. gonorrhea and chlamydia. So this is the cause for hyperacute bacterial conjunctivitis. The treatment is ceftriaxone 250 mg IM plus azithromycin 1 gram per orally. So it can be taken per single dose. So this is hyperacute bacterial conjunctivitis. Next, the treatment for viral conjunctivitis. The main cause is adenovirus. It is supportive treatment. Like I said, it is viral conjunctivitis is self-limiting. So supportive treatment can be given to the patient, like cold compress or artificial tears can be given to the patient. Next, herpes simplex. Herpes simplex virus. Okay, so topical Gangstry-Clover gel 3 times a day for 7 days, plus oral acyclovir 400 mg 5 times a day for 7 days, or oral valacyclovir 500 mg 3 times a day for 7 days. Okay, so in case of herpes zoster, it is a main cause, then oral acyclovir 800 mg 5 times a day for 7 days, or oral valacyclovir 1000 mg 4 times a day for 7 days. And last is allergic conjunctivitis. In case of that, the etiology is pollen, dander, dust, or mold. Okay, so in case of allergic conjunctivitis, the treatment will be nefazoline or pheniramine 1 to 2 drops 4 times a day, cetirizine 1 drop 3 times a day, olopatadine 1 drop 2 times a day, and azilazine 1 drop 2 times a day. So this is the treatment regimen for conjunctivitis, for all types of conjunctivitis. Next, prevention. So do not touch your eyes with hands. Okay, wash hands often. Use clean towels and washcloths. Don't share towels or washcloths. Change the pillowcase often. Avoid swimming in a swimming pool. Do not share eye cosmetics or personal eye care items. Use any antibiotic for the complete period prescribed by the doctor. And prevention of the infection is very important. So these are some of the preventive measures that we can educate to the patient. Next, coming to the nursing management. So the nursing care, first keep eyes clean with cool, moist cloth. Cold compression is required. Then wipe from the inner canthus down and away from the other eye. Do not leave any compress on the eye. So that is a very important point we have to note down. Next, instill eye medication or eye drops after cleaning the eye. Okay, so the eye drops have to be given after the eyes are cleaned. Next, teach prevention of infection to the child and family. You have to tell them to discard the tissues that they are wiping with their eyes, wash cloth separately, and do not rub their eyes. Perform good hand hygiene. Children should not attend school. Okay, when they're having the infection, they should not attend school. Why? Because they can affect the other children as well. Contagious if bacterial is the cause, and we have to teach the parents to administer the medication. That is how to put on the eye drops on the children. Caution with use of steroids. They may exacerbate viral infections. So because steroids are they suppress the immune system, therefore it is very important to use them. Nursing diagnosis: pain of the eye, structure or altered discomfort, altered tissue integrity of the eye, knowledge deficit on possibility of secondary infection, knowledge deficit about the risk of transmission, knowledge deficit about the treatment, altered visual perception, anxiety related to the disease condition, altered body image because of swelling of the eyes, swelling of the eyelids, self-care deficit, low self-esteem, and potential for loss of vision and spatial impairment. So these are some of the nursing diagnoses that you can apply for the disease condition conjunctivitis. So we have come to the end of the topic for today, that is about conjunctivitis. I hope it is clear. The definition, the types, the signs and symptoms, okay, the treatment regimen for each conjunctivitis. So thank you everyone.